Defenders is coming August 17th
I don't care.
to wash away the filth of Iron Fist.
Welcome, guys, to our review of Teen Titans Judas Contract. And you just heard quick news drop there by Lou. But let's get into the meat of the matter. You guys are either watching now or later, and you want to know about Teen Titans Judas Contract. So first off, Lou, just generally, what do you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
I've enjoyed all the DC animated films with the exception of The Killing Joke. I found this one to be entertaining, a little, it kind of sucked a little bit in the beginning because I take it that was Dick Grayson as Robin.
Yeah.
But then what happened to Flash? What called him Speedy? And who else was in that?
Bumblebee.
Okay, I don't know who that is. But they all just disappeared. I mean, I understand 5 years have.
Yes, so I'm not exactly sure what timeline it flows, because that's the thing. Does it flow? If it flows with the Young Justice timeline, then it's not correct. But the team did disband at some point, so let's just call it what it is. That was Wally West, who became the Flash anyway. He became the main Flasher. He usually hangs with the Justice League, and Nightwing just did his own thing. But you said so you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought the movie was cool. It was entertaining. It was, was just a typical movie that they put out.
Yeah.
They had R-rated tendencies, but they scaled back the blood.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed it too. It was good to see Starfire as part of the team. Now, if you've ever read the comic that this is drawn from, one member of the Titans was missing, which we'll talk about that him later, because you do see him, but he wasn't part of the Titans. And
who are you referring to? Did I miss something?
He's part of the end credit sequence, but I'll tell you. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But in terms of, I liked it. I thought it was fun. It flowed well. It was fast, so it didn't feel like it was slow. Robin is still his. Damian is still his. Loudmouth self.
Damian is Damian, dude. You expect that from Damian.
What's his name? Now this version of Slade Wilson, much better. Not the one that Damian beat up that he referred to the first time. This is the Slade Wilson I know.
Well, hold up. You can go that route, but they kind of drew him to me, he felt like Manu Bennett.
Yeah, because he did the voice for it.
Arrowverse.
Yeah, I mean,
he felt like the characterizations of him felt like the Arrowverse version. Just gave him the great hair, like he's been older now.
Yeah, I hear that, but I mean, like, I was really offended with that version that Damian beat. I'm like, Damian in his right mind cannot even beat Nightwing, so let alone.
This is Damian from this Damian. I would say okay, but the Damian that we were introduced to first when he got taken from his grandfather, he was a stone cold killer. So he might have been able to go toe to toe.
No, it doesn't matter. He's not even a teenager. I don't even care how strong you are. He has no superpowers. That's the thing. There's no way he could have beat a grown man. So that part is even closed. Let alone a grown man as skilled as Deathstroke, who fights his dad, who is the Batman. Remember, right? So no, like I just washed that whole thing away. I didn't like it at all. It's like,
but remember, dude, I showed you the meme. Well, it wasn't a meme. A couple of days ago, the little Asian girl kicking some serious butt with those martial arts moves. She could take down a few men who don't know nothing.
I'm not saying who don't know nothing. I'm talking about people who are just as skilled and bigger and stronger. So again. You got to put it into perspective. If Damian is fighting thugs, okay, fine. If Damian is fighting somebody that his dad has a hard time even beating, then no. Come on.
Yeah, but let's be real. Who does Batman have a hard time beating?
Deathstroke.
There's very few people.
Deathstroke. Exactly. The one person they use is the one person who's beating him a couple of times in the comic books. Deathstroke's had, I mean, okay, the whole thing with Judas Contract is Deathstroke was the one who beat the Titans single-handedly by himself in the comics. So that's what you have with Judas Contract. That's kind of, you know, yeah, I can't remember it much because it came out in 1984. I read it like maybe 88, 89 or so. So I really can't remember much of what happened. I do know somebody who died in the comics. His name is Jericho, and we do see Jericho in this. Jericho, this is kind of spoiler, I guess, but this is all spoiler anyway. Jericho is you remember when Brother Blood was doing the experiment and that blonde haired guy gets shot? That's Jericho.
Okay.
Jericho's powers is that he can possess anyone and use the abilities and know everything about them. If he looks at you and activates his powers, he can possess you.
And he's a Teen Titan?
Yeah, he was a Titan. They've never brought him back.
That sounds like an evil guy.
No, he was a Titan. There was always a Titan. For some reason, though, in all the revamps, they've never actually brought him back to life, I think. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's come back since then. But I liked Nightwing and Starfire. I liked that the Starfire was true to her nature, where she just blurts everything out. There's no filter. It's just, you know, she's like, this is how I live on my planet. Just, you know, that whole thing about them, you know, when they were practicing, and, you know, you lasted much longer this time, and everybody started laughing. It's just like, no. When we have,
and he sets it up real quick.
Yeah. So I mean, it was cool to see that aspect of Starfire in there, as well as also, I mean, you know, Beast Boy is kind of matured, even though he still behaves like a kid. If you think about it, remember before he was like a clingy little brother, and now he's like, okay, all right, I can do my own thing, but he still does his silly ways of trying to.
Well, he was more of the clinging stalkerish type guy.
I mean, when you can't blame him. He keeps switching and transforming, so that's how he's gonna be, you know. And I didn't really care for Jaime's excuse of being lonely. It didn't make any sense to me, but I mean, it makes sense. But I was like, they wanted to give him something.
You think about it, he's lonely because the beetle is really mean.
Yeah, the beetle is mean though. That thing doesn't like human beings, period.
Obviously, I mean, it almost shot 2 of the Titans.
Yeah, and he's always growling whenever his father calls.
Yeah, but it was touching at the end that, you know, he got to see his little sister and mommy and daddy.
Yeah. No, it was, like I said, for me overall, I think it was really good. It was entertaining. I liked what they did with Nightwing, because that fight with Nightwing and Deathstroke, the first one, like I said, to me, these are the kind of things, when I say power levels, those are the things I really enjoy where it's correct. Because Nightwing has never beaten Deathstroke. There was a hit on him by Deathstroke, and you know how he got out of the hit?
I don't know. You'd have to tell me.
Oh, he just paid Deathstroke more money. I mean, you know, Bruce got enough money to pay for it, so he just paid. That was it.
Okay.
He couldn't beat
You
Deathstroke.
got the money, pay for it, dude.
Yeah. He couldn't beat Deathstroke. That was just it.
Well, like you said, not too many people could beat Deathstroke.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I was like, all right, I'm glad that
now
you kind of fit in that way.
Is Deathstroke dead?
No.
Do you feel?
No, not even close.
So he didn't get crushed by all those rocks?
Nah, you think this, remember he said, so long, girl. And then thing dropped in front of him, and that was it. It didn't crush him. Compared to Brother Blood and his, you know, madam, mistress, whatever, that you hear.
She dropped 3 bullets in his ass.
Yeah. And then the rock dropped on both of them.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So no. Deathstroke is still around. I mean, they just did it that way so it looked like.
But then the girl gets killed by her own rocks. Like, she could control it.
Remember, she stopped though. Remember, she caused it, and then she just was because she stopped. But
yet, when Beast Boy dug her out, like, he must have been doing some serious digging to get to her.
Oh yeah.
She's like felt happy in his arms for time. Like, oh, she lived.
And she died. She died right
But
there.
then she's dead. It's like, well, damn. And I didn't really feel that Kevin Smith cameo too much.
It was all right. I mean, for what it was all right. I like what Beast Boy said at the end, though, during the cameo. But it was all right. It was what it was supposed to be. Nothing crazy. It's not like Kevin Smith can do anything animated wise that would add more to the storyline or to what you expect. So I thought it was fine.
Well, like I said, the movie was good. It was entertaining from beginning to end. It did what it needed to do as an anime. And then, like you said, we got that little 20-second end credit scene.
Yeah. This is spoiler territory. If you haven't seen it, just stop right here at least, for a minute or so, and we'll join back again. But basically, Jericho, getting a spoiler, Jericho was shot. We didn't know who he was, but I knew. I was watching. It's like, that looks like Jericho. They shot him, really, and then he heals at the very end, and then his eyes shine.
Yeah, he pulled that Wolverine technique.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, it seemed to be a going trend with the brother blood crew. Homegirl was just shooting everybody left and right.
Oh yeah.
Serves your purpose. Bang.
And then she says like a little blessing of some sort, Like, you just killed the person. Come on.
I mean, seriously, you had the flashback scene. Deathstroke cut homie's head off.
Yeah.
This was borderline R-rated movie. All it really needed was blood splatter. And this is a borderline. This would be an R-rated movie that I would have enjoyed.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good all the way. We see Wonder Girl join the team.
So that's who that is?
Yeah, it's Wonder Girl, yeah.
So what, Wonder Woman had a kid?
No. I can't remember her history or story, and guess who dated Wonder Girl also in the comic books?
Damien?
Oh.
Don't tell me Dick Grayson.
Of course, Dick Grayson. Wow. Let me tell you the people I know Dick Grayson has dated. Wonder Girl, Starfire, Batgirl, a few other people. Dick Grayson is really the he plays the playboy part well, better than Bruce.
So
Bruce
he learned from his mentor.
He took it to the next level. Bruce acts like it, like he'll pretend like it's playboy and he'll go do stuff. Dick Grayson is committed to the role all the way through. So, but yeah, I mean, she's younger in this one, so it's a younger Wonder Girl, as opposed to there's no Speedster on the team, so I guess unless Impulse shows up or something like that,
That's why I was like, dude, they had the Speedster early on, but now I get it. Okay, 5 years passed, they really wouldn't be Titans. We didn't even get a Cyborg. Cyborg was at least in the last Titans movie.
Yeah, remember Cyborg was also part of the Justice League. He just chilled with them for a little bit. Cyborg
needs to be with the Teen Titans. He's not a Justice Leaguer.
Just saying now. Hey, the New 52 rewrite, he is the reason why they came together. So it is what it is. But again, I think his role in this is he can switch back and forth whenever is needed. And he's not really needed in this or for this movie, as opposed to other ones. Because if he was in this movie, you remember he tracks every piece of communication. So when she was talking to what's his name?
Deathstroke.
That Cyborg would have already just pinged out already. He tracks everything.
Okay.
As opposed to, I mean, the Beetle Scarab can track it, but you have to tell it to do stuff because it's so stubborn. As opposed to Cyborg. Cyborg is connected to everything immediately. So for him, he's like, even though he's chilling, he's like, somebody's using the phone. that's what Cyborg. So it kind of doesn't work with the story per se, the way he is. So that's why I was like, all right, I see why he's not in here in this storyline. Makes sense.
Yeah, and he would have probably cracked blood stuff sooner than Dick Grayson.
Oh yeah, by far. Yeah, that whole one day with the computer, Cyborg was like, I'll get on it. This is where Brother Blood was. Done. Even that computer that they blew up in Brother Blood's place, he probably still like, I can piece it together right there. So that's why, yeah, it made sense that he just wasn't in this one.
Now, a little off topic. I wasn't here Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think about Josh Whedon directing and writing Batgirl?
I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's.
Is he going to try to bring that Avengers flavor style into the DCEU?
They will try and tone it down, but
now, did you watch Collider today?
Heroes or
no, not Heroes, just Movie Talk.
I just kind of skimmed through. Why?
Because Schnepp said something very interesting, and I'm curious to see if this is what's going to happen. He's saying the reason. Remember, these people know people.
Yeah.
So if he's saying this, he must be hearing something through the grapevine. Ben Affleck is done after Justice League. Matt Reeves wants to go younger. And it's going to be like a 3-movie deal for him, is what they were saying on the show today. And then, on top of that, they're talking about a total reboot, but Superman will stay Superman, and most likely Wonder Woman will stay Wonder Woman, but it'll probably be a soft reboot that The Flash is going to cause at the end of Justice League.
I mean, that's the only look. The only thing is if The Flash does that. That's the only thing, and he changes the timeline. Not it has.
Well,
to be
you know, you shared the meme with me. Granted, I had already seen it, but I am going to screw the timeline up.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing possible if The Flash does that, where he resets the universe and Batman is younger. That's it.
Okay, candidates. I really do not want to see Armie Hammer as no flicking Batman.
I think Armie Hammer is Green Lantern. I think Armie Hammer can play Green Lantern.
I don't want him nowhere near this universe.
I know nobody does in a sense, but I think he can play Green Lantern. I think he will work as Green Lantern. If he's Green Lantern, it's fine, especially because remember, the thing about Armie Hammer is his best role to me was the one he played, even though his Russian accent wasn't that great. But then again, it's not that easy for everybody to do that. Was the one with Henry Cavill when they played against each other.
I didn't see The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh, you should watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It was actually good.
Yeah, you've told me. It's just
no. I'm just saying it's one of those things where like I watched it because like Henry Cavill did the movie. Let me check it out. I mean, I'm not like a fan or anything, but when you watch him work with someone else, that's when you go, okay, that's where this guy that's his best strength per se. So when he did that movie, I was like, okay. Candidates for younger Batman. Like I said, unless The Flash, look, they have to write it that The Flash changes something. That is just it. If The Flash does not change something, no.
We will see in November how this movie is going to fare. Like I said, I really don't want them to do that. I would like to see Ben Affleck continue the roles. I think he is hands down. He has surpassed Michael Keaton on my list of Batmans.
Oh yeah, I agree. I want him to continue. I see where they're going. Where they go, like, okay, we want to go with a younger Batman, and Superman stays, and they rewrite. I mean, they could do that and rewrite the history.
What he did, what Schnepp also said about Henry Cavill staying on as Superman, and Matthew Vaughn directing the sequel, that we're gonna get that Matthew Vaughn flavor where it'll be more upbeat, the Superman that everyone's known to love, like the Christopher Reeves version.
Look, as much as everybody wants that, again, I was watching Man of Steel before I watched Teen Titans Judas Contract. If he does not get those power levels right, I don't give a shit about that movie. I'm sorry. I waited as a kid for a Superman movie to represent the comic book I read. And Man of Steel gave me that. That fight with Zod, where he punched him, he was punching him, and then a car landed on his hand, like while he was punching, and he just flicked it away and punched him. I was like, yes, finally. Not that stuff that Thor does with the Hulk, and I'm like, you were playing around like children.
Okay, no comparing of the movies. We know damn well Marvel doesn't get power levels right.
I know. I just went there. I'm sorry. I got
And then again,
distracted.
Trailer I thought was phenomenal.
What?
The Planet of the Apes trailer.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
I thought that was phenomenal. As you see, I was writing in chat. It is set up to be 2 movies. The first one has the kids. The second one will be the adults.
For what?
The It movie. The clown.
Oh.
That's how it's set up, but things can change.
I say, like I said, if it's successful, it doesn't matter. They will try and make it 3.
But I don't see certain movies just don't need 3 sequels.
Like I said, if you write something well, you can make it 3. It's just a matter of how good your writing is, right? That's how I look at it. It's how you write it. I mean, like, for instance, like the Matrix movies, right? Everybody says it shouldn't have been 3 movies. For what they made, it shouldn't have been 3. If it was written well, you can make 3 movies easy. Again, it's all about how you write
will
stuff.
say this. I'm not one into the horror genre that much, but that trailer had me jumping. Like, oh, snap. And another one that I had to literally just shut it off was the Annabelle trailer that dropped.
I didn't see it
the other night. I think it was Sunday or Friday, whatever day it was. I watched it. I was like, okay, yeah, no. And that's the guy who's supposedly going to direct The Rock and Shazam. So I might be inclined to give that boy a chance there, because what he did with that Annabelle, just the trailer alone, made me turn it off because that shit was creepy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, we'll see. I'm a little disappointed to hear. As you were talking, I was just a little disappointed to hear that they want to. Ben Affleck wants to do. Look, to me, is that I'll put it this way: they are not going to show him as a younger Batman if the Flash does anything in Justice League. They'll just show that the Flash did something. The Flash movie is where we'll see that something start off before it is. Now, you know, what out of CinemaCon is the 20 minutes to show of, Wonder Woman was just gangbuster. Everybody loved it. They showed
CinemaCon, yes, CinemaCon.
Yeah, they showed more footage of Justice League, a couple more, scenes with light-hearted comedy in there. People liked it. Actually, they loved it, to be precise. All the people who saw it at least stated that. Like anything else, I guarantee you, Justice League, it's a hit. You know what's going to happen.
They don't reboot. They stay with the course.
They stay with the course. I mean, they keep the changes that they make, but they stay the course. I'm sorry. Let's just look at it this way. Justice League made 1.5 billion. It's not going to make 2 billion, but let's say it makes 1.5, right?
I think they'll be happy that it makes anything over a billion. They'll be like, all right, yes, finally.
I would say it's gonna make 1.5. Like I said, my reasoning for this is my calculation has always been Wonder Woman, and the way Wonder Woman is carrying. Like, Wonder Woman is tracking. Spider-Man is tracking much higher, but Wonder Woman is tracking quietly because women will just show up. The advertising.
Yeah, but Wonder Woman is the beginning of June, somewhere in that area, and Spider-Man is like
July
7th, I believe, just after July 4th weekend. And let's be real, everyone has been cramming for a new Spider-Man movie to wash away the filth of the Andrew Garfield saga.
I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
I liked him as Spider-Man as well. I'm not going to sit there and say that Amazing Spider-Man was hogposh trash. No. Did it have its flaws? Yes. But was I entertained? Yes. I'm pretty much entertained with all these damn movies, no matter how it goes.
Yeah.
Because, I just enjoy it for what it is. I'm not in there looking like, this story better be Oscar winner. It's like, really, dude, what do you want? You need to sit back. This is one of those movies that's dumb, fun popcorn with a lot of things blowing up. Now, when you want to see an Oscar-worthy movie, you go watch your Hidden Fences, Moonlight.
And all that stuff, yeah.
All that other crap. That's where you get that kind of story. But when you're looking for a Suicide Squad, Justice League, Wonder Woman, that's more popcorn and enjoy it for what it is.
iMike is here. What's up, iMike? Sorry, I was
Been a
looking at the
while.
chat. Yeah, I know. He says he agrees with me. It comes down to writing. Like I said, yeah. If you have some look, that's the reason why Fast and Furious has survived. As much as it's a popcorn
I'm looking forward to that.
As much as a popcorn flick, it's a well-written popcorn flick. It's written well for what it is, as opposed to, in my mind, Transformers. It's not
Hush
a
your
well-written
mouth.
No. Let's be honest, right?
You're lucky I can't mute you.
No. If Transformers was well written, I would be on the same boat as you. I would be like, it is a popcorn flick, but whatever, man. That thing is just it. I get where the story is going. With Transformers, I don't. So that's the difference. But Transformers also makes a lot of money. You know, it's one of the movies that defies the odds. Who would you rather see as a Green Lantern show up in Justice League? Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart?
I think we're not getting none of them. I really don't think.
I think we are. Like I said, I agree with Umberto all the way through, but I think they changed it. I think they changed it when, and it's not even changing it as in there's anything different per se. It's more or less to say, okay, we had a Green Lantern come in. It wasn't Hal Jordan. It wasn't Jon Stewart. You know, they're kind of doing like the Marvel way, because, you know, in Marvel movies, somebody else will come in who is like part of the Nova Corps, say, but not really Nova himself. But in DC, when you have a Green Lantern show up and it's not one of the four main ones, everybody's just kind of like, come on. You have Hal, Kal Rayner, Jon Stewart, you know, Guy Gardner. Pick one of the four people that we know.
And, I don't know. I only know Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
So it's one of those things that, yeah, I think it's going to be one of them that they pick. And, you know, if they've cast the Green Lanterns already and say, okay, look, we're going to go down with that. We'll cast you, put in this, we'll tie you in, and done. And
now,
yeah.
Interesting news that also dropped today is G.I. Joe is rebooting.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
But I think they're going to reboot with The Rock, because he's going to be the cash grab. Because I don't care who you put in the starring role, it has to be opposite The Rock. If The Rock is not in it, the movie's not going to do well.
We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, with all that is a matter of.
Sad thing is, I enjoyed the last two G.I. Joe movies.
I enjoyed the first one. The second one, not so much, though. The first one.
I enjoyed the second one for what it was. Dumb popcorn fun with The Rock being The Rock. He was playing Hobbs, but in G.I. Joe.
No, I mean, like, I liked it when it was for some reason, I didn't like that they killed, what's his name?
Duke?
Yeah, Duke.
Yeah, I didn't like that part neither, but that was Channing Tatum being a jackass.
He didn't want to say. I mean, I don't blame him, though, because that franchise wasn't well organized. It wasn't well organized.
Okay, with the exception of not being well organized, he left that franchise for Magic Mike.
Yeah.
And Magic Mike didn't do well the second one.
Let me see.
Hello?
Keep talking. I think he did well. You know, he's a producer on both those movies.
Of course. Producers are producers. You know, you're going to get paid regardless of the fact.
No. That's why he did that, because he's making more money.
Mm. And then I have to say, I'm intrigued with what the Mummy is doing.
Yeah. Hold on a second. So the first Magic Mike movie had a budget of $7 million.
And that one grossed a lot.
$167 million.
Look at that. So that's $160 million profit.
The second one had a budget of $14 million and made $122 million. So it still did well.
Dude, well. They made those movies for that cheap?
Yeah. Now, you forgot DVD sales. I don't even know what those are. So that was a very wise investment for him.
I get it, but I mean, dude, he was Duke, an iconic G.I. Joe character.
Yeah, I know, but
and his
name is also Channing Tatum, a husband, father, and a human being who would like to make lots of money.
And this is also coming from the guy that wants to play Gamblet, that thinks he needs $150 million budget.
Yeah, hey, do I blame him? He probably threw it in there as like, this is what all these movies are costing. And then Deadpool came out and it was like, all right, fine.
Deadpool shut that shit down.
We need to go to like $40 million budget, and then we'll do this. So.
Mike is talking about it's just shirtless dancing guys, Lou. Don't think they need a big budget.
Yeah, that is very true. That is.
You know what though? It's the first Magic Mike, and it was actually a decent movie. It was not that bad. We didn't get past the first 5 minutes of the second one.
Oh, okay. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. This is what it happens. We start off with a review and we kind of veer off to other topics. So if you're
I wasn't here Saturday, so I have to let this out. You know, all the shows last week were great.
Yeah.
You know, you got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back tonight.
Today's Monday or Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday, April 4th.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. returns tonight, 10 p.m. Check your local listings. And then we also get the season finale of Legends of Tomorrow. So basically, this week is light as far as show-wise. We only have...
Yeah. Did you watch the finale of Walking Dead? I haven't watched it yet, so don't spoil anything. I'm going to just jump back and watch that because everybody was kind of like saying,
I will put it to you like this. I watched the first 2 episodes when it came back off the mid-season premiere. Didn't watch jack crap. And I already knew what was going on in the season finale, and I caught the season finale late, and I knew what was going on and who was dying and what they were doing. The show still sucks, but I will say the season finale was definitely better than last season.
Okay, all right, cool.
Much improved as far because you know last season they gave us that stupid cliffhanger. At least this one we got resolved. We know where we're going.
Don't say anything. That's it. All right, good. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Supergirl.
What do you say?
Man, I get so annoyed watching Supergirl. They are terrible with the power levels.
Preach, Mike. Preach, Mike. Preach. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Everyone who's watching right now. Also, Mike, thanks for chiming in. If you're watching this later, this is what we do. We review, and then we kind of throw in topics at the end of the live review. So want to say thank you very much. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram. It is OnBoored. And this is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.